Welcome to Handheld Gaming Reviews, the channel dedicated to reviewing the performance of gaming on handheld devices. If you enjoy this video, a like and subscribe will help the channel grow and motivate me to keep making videos. First things first, Baldur's Gate 3 works great using a controller. Buying the game for testing on the Steam Deck and ROG Ally, this was my biggest concern. I couldn't find any solid examples of people using controllers, and the game had a playable but not verified rating on Steam. I'm happy to confirm that as of the official launch day, the game works great using a controller. My testing of the game is not comprehensive by any means for a few reasons. One, I don't want to spoil the game for anyone, so I've kept my testing to the opening chapter, and two, I haven't really played that much past the opening. What this means is that while I have some examples of how the game plays both with indoor and outdoor environments, these are just those in the first chapter. Time will tell if the game becomes more or less demanding as I progress. If there is a big difference, I'll follow up with another video. Performance on the Steam Deck. At 720p on the Steam Deck with mostly low settings, the game runs great. You'll hit frames in the 40s and even 50s, and with some tweaking, I'm sure you can achieve a nice balance between fidelity and FPS. The one thing I will say is docked, the deck just doesn't look as good as the Ally owing to the 720p resolution. In handheld mode, however, the game looks great and runs at solid frames. If the only thing stopping you from buying this game is that you're not sure if it will run on the Steam Deck, in my experience testing with the opening chapter, you've got nothing to worry about. Where you'll have an advantage over the Ally is if you need to put the game down. You can feel far more confident in the deck's ability to suspend and go to sleep by hitting the power button than you can with the Ally. I cover that in more detail in my travelling with the ROG Ally video. Performance on the ROG Ally. Baldur's Gate 3 runs great on the Ally. The game comfortably runs at 1080p, and with some tweaking you'll have no trouble hitting 40 to 50 FPS on medium settings while plugged in running at 30W TDP. The experience is very smooth and looks great docked on a 1080p display. Playing in handheld mode unplugged at 25W TDP, you can expect smooth performance at 1080p on medium settings. Depending on your preference for frame rate versus fidelity, you can easily tweak the settings for higher frames. While on the topic of handheld mode, you can't really tell from this video, but in my opinion, the ROG Ally screen really shines over the Steam Decks. The higher resolution and color range gives the Ally a solid advantage here. For a more apples to apples comparison between the Ally and the deck, setting the Ally to 720p with a TDP of 15W and mostly low settings, the Ally absolutely smashes the deck's performance, consistently hitting 50 to 60 FPS, with some drops into the 40s. The more games I test, the more and more this appears to be a common theme. If fidelity is your game, then you'll be happy to know Baldur's Gate 3 runs fine at 1080p with 15W TDP on the Ally. I saw performance in the 40s to 50s, and I'm sure with some tweaking you could strike a great balance to suit your personal preference. Just to see if I could break the game, I also tested it at 10W TDP. At first I was hitting frames in the 20s, which if I'm being honest was actually higher than I was expecting. Much to my surprise, the game then started to stabilize in the high 20s. Dropping all settings to low, I actually managed to hit in the 30s and even low 40s. Given the turn-based combat and narrative nature of this game, if you're traveling and battery life was your priority, you could certainly give 10W a crack on the ROG Ally. If you're looking to get Baldur's Gate 3 and you own a Steam Deck or ROG Ally, you can't go wrong either way. For those of you who have made it to the end of this video, I have some exciting news. I've just ordered an ANEO Air 1S and will be posting some videos on that device once I have it. You can expect an honest review of my experience as I've purchased it myself, so if you want to check that out, please hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.